Hey, I'm Saxon. I work with CCUA, and we're here today with a new Farm to School video for you. Today's video is called Celebrating Black Scientists. Take a moment and picture scientists in your mind. What do you see? Earlier today, I was curious about that, so I went online and searched for pictures of a scientist. I saw lots of people in white lab coats, wearing goggles, peering into microscopes, and that is one way of practicing many different sciences. But is it the only way? No. A scientist is someone who devotes a lot of time, research, and enthusiasm to discovery and advancement in a certain field. At CCUA, we spend a lot of time, research, and enthusiasm on growing plants, making good food, and taking care of our planet. So we wanted to make videos about scientists who are doing that too. And we want to feature Black scientists in these videos because we want to show you and your friends that you can be scientists and that any type of person can be a scientist. And we also know that throughout our country's history, Black people have not been recognized for their work as much as they should be. So we want to be a part of changing that. In today's lesson, we are featuring 3 scientists who are very passionate about working with plants and supporting the community that they live in. Our first scientist is a farmer named Tyreen Lewis. Let's go meet him now.
My name is Tyreen Lewis. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, born and raised. I'm the owner and CEO of Hayroot Urban Farming. This is one of my locations that's behind me right now. I started my business back in 2018 just to provide, fresh produce for my community. I was born in St. Louis, Missouri in 1982. I'm 38 years old. I graduated from Normandy High School, by the way, in St. Louis. My favorite fruit is easy, it's watermelon. And the reason why I say watermelon, because that's my favorite fruit to eat. So someone always told me you want to, when you get into growing, to grow what you like to eat. I'm a 5th generational farmer, and my great uncle was also an excellent farmer, and his pride and joy was watermelon as well. So I believe that's a family trait. Oh yeah, my favorite vegetable? I guess my favorite vegetable would be bok choy. And the reason why I say bok choy, it is an Asian green. It tastes really good. It's packed with a lot of vitamins, and it's something I like because it's easy to prepare, and it's something that I like to introduce to people in my community. My favorite herb is sage, and my particular favorite sage is purple sage, and I use that for smudging. And smudging is when you make a bundle and you light it. Some people use it to clear energy or to calm people. The challenge I overcame to get to where I'm at today. Well, if I want to be very transparent, when I was in high school, my senior year, unfortunately, I got kicked out of high school. But I was still able to, I was kind of down and out about that. But I had some good people in my corner, my counselor and some friends, and my mom and dad. And I still did what I had to do to go to college. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to go to college because I messed up with my transcripts, but I get suspended, and I actually got expelled. But I was able to get the highest GPA for alternative schools in the state of Missouri at the time, and I was able to go to college to get my BS in education, and I was a school teacher for 6 years, and then I later on moved on and got my master's degree in management. It's okay to be, it's okay to be different. I had a lot of, as we as adolescents, you go through a lot of peer pressure, and things, some stuff you want to do that you know is not right to do, and it's okay to be your own self. Being different is actually great. That's a good thing. It's good to be weird. It's good to be different. It's good to not to be in the status quo. So that's one thing I learned, that I can tell my younger self that it's okay to be different. It's okay to be yourself. Advice I give: you want to get to farming, if you want to get into it, start planting your own. You can start planting your backyard. You get your family involved, your friends involved. You can take it's different community gardens that you can volunteer in, and always grow what you like to eat, because that's the first step into enjoying what you do and eating the things that you grow. Oh, actually, I'm excited about everything. I mean, this time of year is kind of antsy for me, for farmers, because spring is around the corner. The first week of February, we're gonna start doing our seedlings. Getting our seeds prepared to go into the field. So, but one thing I am excited about the most about this season is getting my Mobiles Farmers Market up and running, reach these food desert communities and provide fresh produce for them. Thank you all for giving me your time. Thanks for inviting me to do this virtual video, and I appreciate everything. Thanks a lot.
Hey everybody, it's Mr. Clint here with CCUA. We are here at the Tucker Hall Greenhouse at the University of Missouri, surrounded by all sorts of these gorgeous plants everywhere. And all these gorgeous plants have been cared for and propagated and grown and watered in part by all the different students here at the university. Did you know though that black students were not admitted to the University of Missouri until 1950? But even before that, in fact, over half a century before that, the university had one of its very first black educators, Henry Kirkland. Henry Kirkland was born in 1858 in Columbia, Missouri. Escaping slavery and never going to school, he became a successful gardener, business owner, an agriculturalist, and an educator. Kirkland spent much of his young life gardening. He was recruited to work at the greenhouses at the University of Missouri. The department head noticed that he had a real green thumb, a real knack for working with plants. So he asked Kirkland to supervise the greenhouses and also to teach the lab components of some of the courses. But being a black man in the 1800s, Henry Kirkland was not allowed inside of any of the university buildings, so he actually had to teach all of his classes outside. Henry Kirkland was also active in his community and attended the St. Paul AME Church that is on 5th and Park and still stands today. Outside of his work at the university, Henry Kirkland was a nationally renowned gardener and grower. In fact, his produce was such high quality, he presented at the 1904 World's Fair. And when he was back home, sold his produce over the phone, out of his wheelbarrow, and out of his horse-drawn wagon, which had his nickname on the side of it, said the Plant Man. Henry Kirkland passed away in 1938 and is actually buried here in Columbia at the Columbia Cemetery, where he just got a new headstone that you can visit and read if you're so interested. There's a lot of good information out there to learn more about him.
I'm down at the Big Burr Oak, south of Columbia, and I'm looking around me, and I know it's wintertime here in Missouri, but I don't see any green hardly at all. And even in this big field that I'm in, I barely see any trees. And it makes me wonder, what would it be like if most of the time there wasn't any green and there weren't very many trees? Because a wise woman once said that a tree is worth more than its wood. And that woman was the mother of Wangari Maathai, who's our next scientist. So Wangari Maathai was an environmentalist. She was born in Nyeri, Kenya in 1940. Wangari loved to learn and explore, and even though at the time most girls did not go to school, Wangari's brother encouraged her mother to send her to school. She loved school so much and she worked so hard that she eventually earned a scholarship to come and do college in the United States. And on her return to Kenya, she came back to her village and to the other rural parts. She saw that so many trees had been cut down across Kenya that people and the land were suffering. Mothers couldn't find firewood, they couldn't find food to feed their children, the water was dirty, and they were not able to grow food like they used to. Plus, the environment itself was suffering. So Wangari organized the women. They went out and they found seeds from the few remaining native trees. They planted them in pots until they were yay big. And then they went out in lines, and woman after woman would plant a tree in lines that stretched all across Kenya. And this became known as the Green Belt Movement because the green, beautiful trees started to recover all over Kenya. Late in her life, Wangari Maathai was the first African woman and the first environmentalist to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. The givers of the prize wanted to acknowledge all of her hard work in organizing the people of Kenya to ensure their health and well-being, and also the health and well-being of the natural world. To date, Wangari and the women of Kenya have planted over 45 million trees and brought back health, well-being, and independence to the village people of Kenya. For more information, check out the resource link in the description below. And stay tuned for another video on celebrating Black scientists. See you later!